Somewhere inside you right now, a brand new organ is being built. Not repaired, not upgraded, but built from absolute scratch. No other human body does this ever, under any condition. Your body grew you a heart, a liver, and lungs once. It did that slowly, over 9 long months in the womb. But this time, your body works on a different timeline entirely. In about 8 days, it creates something that didn't exist before. That organ is the placenta, and it is genuinely extraordinary. It forms out of cells that are half yours, half the baby's. It attaches to your uterus like it was always meant there. It grows blood vessels, hormone factories, and filtration systems in parallel. It becomes lungs, kidneys, liver, and endocrine gland all at once. And when the baby is born, your body simply lets go. No other organ in medicine is disposable by design like this. Think about that for just a second right now. Your body built a whole new piece of anatomy on deadline. It kept that organ alive for 9 straight months. Then it released the organ knowing its job was done. That is not a glitch of biology working against you. That is engineering that rewrites the rulebook of human bodies. And that's only the first impossible thing happening inside you. The second one involves a hormone you already know the name of. That hormone is called estrogen, and it runs your cycle. Most people think of estrogen as something that rises and falls, a cycle, a rhythm, a familiar wave throughout reproductive life. But pregnancy takes that entire system and sets it on fire. In one pregnancy, your body produces more estrogen than usual, more than a full month, more than a year, more than decades, more than a non-pregnant woman makes in her entire lifetime. Let that sentence settle in your mind for a moment. One pregnancy outpaces a lifetime of normal hormonal output completely. That's not an exaggeration used to sound dramatic or impressive. That's endocrinology, studied and measured in real laboratory data today. The placenta, that organ we just talked about, is partly responsible. It becomes a hormone factory working at a staggering scale. It floods your bloodstream with estrogen in rarely seen quantities. This is why your hair might grow thicker than ever before, why your skin changes in ways that completely surprise you, why your emotions can feel amplified, more saturated, more cinematic now, why everything smells stronger, sharper, and sometimes truly unbearable. You are not imagining the intensity of any of this. You are living inside a hormonal storm of historic proportions. Your body is doing, in months, what decades usually cover. That is not a malfunction happening inside your chemistry. That is a biological system operating at maximum possible capacity. And it's happening to keep one tiny human safe and growing. Which brings us to where that tiny human actually lives. Your uterus, the quietest powerhouse in the entire human body. Before pregnancy, your uterus is roughly the size of a pear. It sits quietly in your pelvis, barely noticed day to day. It weighs about 2 ounces, give or take a bit. It holds just a teaspoon or so of fluid inside it. Then, a single fertilized egg shows up and changes everything forever. Over the next 9 months, your uterus does something almost unbelievable. It expands to 500 times its original normal volume. Not 5 times, not 50 times, but 500 times over. By the end, it stretches from your pelvis up to your ribs. It pushes your stomach sideways, your lungs upward, your organs aside. It becomes strong enough to contract with hundreds of pounds of force. It becomes soft enough to cradle a newborn without any harm. And then the most surprising part of all happens next. After delivery, your uterus starts shrinking back almost immediately. Within days, you can feel it contracting back toward your pelvis. Within 2 weeks, it has already dropped dramatically in overall size. Within 6 weeks, it returns close to its original pear shape. Think about any other muscle in your whole body right now. Try to imagine stretching a bicep to 500 times larger. Then imagine it snapping back to normal in 6 weeks flat. That isn't how muscles work anywhere else in human anatomy. But your uterus isn't just anywhere else in your body. It is in a remarkable category entirely of its own. It is the only muscle designed to expand and recover fully. It is the only organ that grows and retreats on cue. It is the only part of you that knows when finished. And it does this again and again with every pregnancy. Now consider what that remarkable uterus is actually filled with. A placenta, a growing baby, and rivers of changing blood. Those rivers have changed in ways you could never feel. Which brings us finally to the fourth impossible thing happening inside. By the middle of pregnancy, you have almost 50% more blood. That is not some small or insignificant uptick in volume. That is nearly doubling the total fluid pumping through your heart. Your heart itself grows larger to handle the new demand placed on it. It pumps faster, harder, and more efficiently than it ever has before. But the volume itself isn't really the strangest part of this. The strangest part is what that blood is actually doing internally. It is getting thicker and more voluminous at the same time. Those two things sound like they should never coexist naturally. Normally, when blood becomes more voluminous, it also becomes more diluted. When it becomes thicker, it usually means volume has decreased somewhere. Your body refuses that logic completely and does something different. It increases plasma, the watery part of blood, by enormous amounts. It also increases clotting factors, the components making blood very sticky. Platelets shift, proteins rise, and fibrinogen climbs to protective new levels. The result is something almost paradoxical inside your own circulatory system. More fluid flowing faster through every vessel in your body, more clotting power ready and waiting at a moment's notice, more oxygen being ferried to every corner of your expanding body, more defense against the blood loss that comes with childbirth. Your body already knows delivery is going to be intense. It knows a baby will leave and vessels will open widely. So it prepares quietly, months and months in careful advance. It builds surplus and safety into every milliliter of you. It thickens what it thins and thins what it thickens simultaneously, all at the exact same moment in time together, all inside one single circulatory system working tirelessly for you, all without a single conscious instruction coming from you. You walk around, go to work, answer texts, eat breakfast. Meanwhile, your blood chemistry is performing an impossible balancing act inside, and it is doing all of this to keep you alive. But maybe the strangest thing of all isn't about blood or organs. It isn't about hormones, muscles, or any hormonal storms at all. It is about something much quieter and far more permanent. Because somewhere in the middle of all this, something else happens. Cells from the baby begin to slip across the placenta quietly. They enter your bloodstream, small and silent, and easy to miss completely. They travel through your body like tiny passengers on a journey, and some of them, remarkably, end up inside your brain. Scientists call this microchimerism, and it was once considered unbelievable science. Now it is documented, studied, and confirmed in tissue from real mothers. Cells from your baby cross the blood-brain barrier during pregnancy itself. They settle into regions of your brain and make themselves comfortable. They are still genetically the baby's cells, not yours at all. They carry half their DNA from the baby's other parent directly. They are, in a very real sense, someone else living inside you. And here's the part that stops people in their tracks. They stay there inside your brain for a very long time. Not just during the pregnancy itself while you are carrying, not just during the newborn years of sleepless nights either. Decades later, researchers have found fetal cells in mothers' brains, women in their 60s, 70s, and even into their 80s, still carrying tiny biological echoes of babies they carried long ago. There are theories about what these cells actually do up there. Some suggest they help with bonding and emotional attunement to baby. Some suggest they assist in healing brain tissue after injuries occur. Some suggest they play a role in maternal mood regulation overall. The research is still unfolding, careful and incomplete at this stage. But the core finding itself is not in any real doubt. A piece of your child lives inside your brain forever. Not metaphorically, not poetically, not just in sentimental memory either. Literally, cellularly, measurably, and permanently present in your tissue. You carried them for 9 months on the outside of yourself. They carry you, or you carry them, for life itself. Somewhere in the soft folds of your brain, they are there. Quiet, unseen, but absolutely and scientifically real inside of you. Step back for a moment and look at what your body accomplished. It built a temporary organ out of nothing in just over a week. It flooded itself with more estrogen than a lifetime usually holds. It stretched a muscle to 500 times its size and recovered. It rewrote its own blood to be thicker and thinner simultaneously, and it accepted your baby's cells into its most protected tissue. None of these things happen anywhere else in the human body. None of these things happen in any other state of being. Not in illness, not in recovery, not in extreme athletic performance. These astonishing feats belong to pregnancy and pregnancy completely alone. They are not symptoms of something gone wrong inside you. They are not side effects you are meant to simply endure. They are not inconveniences you are meant to quietly push through. They are proof of something extraordinary unfolding right inside you, a body doing what only a pregnant body can actually do, a system bending its own rules to protect another growing life, an organism transforming itself at every level, down to its cells. The exhaustion you feel makes so much more sense now, doesn't it? The hunger, sensitivity, forgetfulness, and strange new aches all do too. They are not signs that something is going wrong inside you. They are signs that something truly astonishing is going right instead. Your body is building, producing, expanding, adapting, and welcoming constantly, all at once, all in secret, all beneath ordinary surface days. The next time someone talks about pregnancy like it's simple, remember this. Remember the organ that grew in 8 days and knew when to leave. Remember the estrogen surging past a lifetime's quota in just months. Remember the muscle that stretched and shrank on its own schedule. Remember the blood that learned to be two opposite things at once. Remember the cells from your baby tucked quietly into your own brain. Then ask yourself, what word could possibly describe a body like that? Miraculous feels almost too small and delicate to really capture it. Complicated feels far too clinical and cold for this kind of magic. Impossible feels closer to accurate, but still not quite right somehow, because everything your body is doing is actually and measurably possible. It is just only possible here, right now, inside you. Only during this one strange, sacred, temporary chapter of your life. You are not just carrying a baby growing inside of you, you are hosting an entire biological event that breaks normal rules. Your body is not malfunctioning just because it feels unfamiliar now. Your body is functioning at a level it has never reached before. Every symptom, every shift, every wave of emotion you can't explain, every craving, every pain, every sleepless 3 in the morning moment. They are not failures of the system you used to know well. They are features of the system you have temporarily become instead. A system capable of things that still astonish the scientists studying it. A system capable of things that would sound like fiction without context. A system capable of quietly rewriting what a human body can do. That remarkable system is you, right now, in this exact moment. And long after this pregnancy ends, some of it stays with you, in your blood, in your bones, in your quietly transformed brain. You will never be exactly who you were before this began, not because something was taken away from you during this time, but because something extraordinary was permanently added to who you are. 5 impossible things happening all at once inside one ordinary day. Inside one ordinary woman doing ordinary things on an ordinary morning. Inside you, right now, as you listen to these very words,